The Grey Cup belongs to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers for the second time in 3 seasons. It was a blowout on Sunday. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers beat the Edmonton Eskimos 50-11, the most lopsided Grey Cup game in 34 years. Yesterday, the Bombers arrived home to a much-deserved hero's welcome. Stay tuned as we look back at the 78th Grey Cup game, here on the CFL Report.
Hi everybody, welcome to Vancouver. I'm Peter Watts, our final CFL report for the 1990 season. It has been a great season, a season which produced record-setting offensive performances, a season which produced the lowest disparity between the best and worst teams in 16 years, and a season which produced the most lopsided Grey Cup result in 34 seasons. The team that was best during the regular season was certainly best here at the stadium at BC Place on Sunday, the day when it counted the most.
A sunny day in Vancouver. Almost 46,000 strolled into BC Place for the 78th Grey Cup and had the stadium rocking. Mike Riley's Winnipeg Blue Bombers prepared for Joe Faragelli and the Edmonton Eskimos. The key for Edmonton would be the play of quarterback Tracy Ham, but at times Ham didn't have a chance. Number 35, a tenacious linebacker by the name of Tyrone Jones, constantly pressured Ham and sacked the Eskimo quarterback twice. Ham and the Eskimo offense faced a battle that they simply could not control. His name, Greg Battle. In the Eskimos' opening drive, they marched the length of the field, only to be stopped by an outstanding interception by number 34. Battle returned this interception 56 yards and promptly ended the Eskimos' aspiration of an early touchdown.
Going through my head, I was thinking, you know, they're driving the ball on us, and they look pretty good. They seem like they're pretty confident. I was thinking, you know, if they score a touchdown, you know, not to get our hopes down. And just turns out that, you know, a big play happened, and so happened to be me.
And a big play it most certainly was. It led to a Trevor Kennard field goal. And then quarterback Tom Burgess hooked up with Lee Hull, and the Bombers led 10-4 at the half. The early minutes of the third quarter brought the play of the game. And again, it was made by Battle. And again, it was an interception. This time, it would lead to a touchdown.
Tracy was under some pressure. Our D lineman got in his face, so he was scrambling. I don't think he saw me. I came up behind the running back. I tried to knock the ball down. It popped up, and it's history.
There's no doubt that that was a key situation. I thought my back had the ball, and Dallas just made a super play on it. And those are just things that are part of the game, and you understand that, and you just not really worry about it.
The Eskimos would never recover. Battle's touchdown gave the underdogs a 13-point advantage. But for Battle and the Bombers, it was not time to relax. Not yet. For Joe Faragelli, only one word was on his mind.
We had, in my last count, in my mind was 5 fumbles and 2 interceptions. And, you know, when you do that against a good team, you're going to get killed. And we got killed.
And while the Bombers' defense was expected to play well, the offense was not. This Tom Burgess pass to Perry Tuttle began to erase any doubt that his critics were wrong.
I don't know how I caught that ball. Don't even ask me. Closed my eyes and it ended up in my hands.
And 2 plays later, Tuttle ended up in the end zone with another Winnipeg touchdown. Winnipeg moved ahead by 20 points, and it became clear the 78th Grey Cup game was turning into a rout. The Bombers scored 28 unanswered points in the third quarter, a CFL record.
I mean,
defense kept giving us the opportunities. And when we started to get hot on offense and taking advantage of them, I felt we could run away with it.
Winnipeg did run away with the Grey Cup, their second in 3 years, humbling Edmonton 50-11.
Two Bombers really stood out on Sunday, of course. Linebacker Greg Battle, voted the best defensive player in the country this season, played like it Sunday in the Grey Cup game. And Tom Burgess, the forgotten quarterback in Saskatchewan last year, the man who sat on the bench all game as Kent Austin directed the Riders to a Grey Cup win, really came into his own on Sunday and played the kind of football that he has always shown he was capable of playing. With their thoughts now on Grey Cup Sunday, here's John Wells and Leif Pedersen.
Well, partner, if you listened to me at the start of the season when I said the Winnipeg Blue Bombers had a chance to be in the Grey Cup, you would have made a lot of money.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, nobody else picked them, so, I mean, I'm not alone, but, you know, you look at the Winnipeg season, and how could you pick them to get to the Grey Cup way back in July when it's a team that strictly wins by defense and has problems sometimes moving the football, but move it they did the last half of the season, finished in first, went on to win a Grey Cup. Kind of a storybook year for them.
Yeah, most people had the Blue Bombers finishing in 4th place in the Eastern Division, and when that part of the competition was over, the Bombers were easily the best team in the East, and then on Grey Cup Sunday, they proved that they're the best team in Canadian football.
John, you know who I'm happy for? I'm happy for Mike Riley. You know, you talk to any of the Blue Bomber players, and they say Mike Riley is a player's coach, and I mean, we all know that, and if you can't play for Mike Riley, I don't think there's a guy around that you can play for, so I'm really happy for Mike Riley and for the whole Blue Bomber team. They, against all odds, have come through and won another Grey Cup.
Yes, very satisfying season for Blue Bomber fans. Winnipeg wins the Grey Cup for the 2nd time in 3 years.
Okay, guys, thank you. Some record-setting numbers from Sunday's Grey Cup finale en route to this timeout. And when we come back, the victorious Winnipeg Blue Bombers celebrating their 3rd Grey Cup win in the last 7 seasons. Stay with us. Welcome back to the CFL Report on TSN, coming to you from Vancouver. Nobody suggested from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers' point of view that Sunday's victory would be easy. In fact, the story coming in was that the Bomber defense would have to play very well and that the offense would have to play well enough. Well, the offense played better than that, and so did the special teams. And the atmosphere in a jubilant Winnipeg locker room after the game was not just that the team had won the Grey Cup, but that every aspect of the team had contributed to that win.
Great. You know, like I said, I can wake up now. The dream is over. The dream is over. I'm waking up now. And they stopped me, and they stopped the offer. Well, they stopped me again, and we blew them out. That's all I have to say. We're number one. We're the best. We're the best. That's it. We're the best. Number one. Oh, yeah. But we dogged them out today. We dogged the ugly Eskimos. Yes, we did.
It was so sweet because we're underdogs again, and everybody, we loved it when we were underdogs, and they thought Tracy Ham was going to get out of the pocket, and our defense shut him down, created some turnovers for us. Great victory for us, boy, because we were ranked last, I think, in the whole league this year, so how sweet it is.
This is by far the best feeling I've had in my
2 weeks at least.
In 2 weeks, my professional career. It's by far, we didn't anticipate so many points. What a way to to go out.
I know everybody picked this.
It says it all right there, baby. That says it all. We're not conceited. We're just convinced that we have a good football team. We could care less about the age difference and anything like that, and us being 29, 30, and 35 years old, James West being 50 or whatever. But, you know, we just got a good football team, and we got a lot of competitors on the team.
We're not fancy, we're not stars, we're blue collar, we stick together, we all enjoy beer. You look at the O-lines drinking beer, well, the receivers and quarterbacks drinking champagne. But we having a good time, we stick tight together, and you know, there's not much more you can say except for it's sweet. And all those people who didn't think Winnipeg's offense could come, boy, I tell you what, if I had a shoe for every one of them, you'd all be eating raw rubber.
We were coming back with the cup. We are back. Great Ambition Tour 1990 is complete. We'll see you on the parade.
And they stuck together, played hard, won a lot of close games, and got a little better at the end when you have to in the playoffs to get where you want to go. And a very tough football team, tough physically and tough mentally, and it makes it a lot of fun to work with guys like that.
If there were disappointments Sunday, in addition to those of the Edmonton Eskimos, it had to have been with the crowd count here in Vancouver. Only 46,000 in the stadium to watch the final game of the 1990 season. And I'm sure as well there was a personal disappointment for Don Crump. In his first year as the league's commissioner, he was not able to present the Grey Cup to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Too many fans on the field after the game. And by the time Crump was ready to present the trophy, the Bombers had already claimed it as their own and carried it triumphantly to their dressing room. Some thoughts from the commissioner now en route to this timeout. More still to come on the CFL Report from Vancouver. Stay with us.
Your thoughts and feelings about the day and what has gone on with this Grey Cup here in Vancouver?
Sure, the crowd was enthusiastic and the Winnipeg fans were great, and it certainly bodes well for the 1991 Grey Cup game in Winnipeg. With Winnipeg going in it as champions, it's going to make a heck of a difference for both their season and for the Grey Cup game.
Lots of award winners this CFL season. Mike Clemens of Toronto, the outstanding player. Ray Elgard of Saskatchewan, the top Canadian. Jim Mills of the Lions, the best of the offensive linemen. Greg Battle was the best defensive player. And Reggie Barnes of Ottawa was the top rookie. And Glenn Suter won an award as well. Oh, you didn't know about that one? Oh, you're about to find out. Here's Leif Pedersen.
Well, we've had a lot of fun with this segment this year on TSN CFL Report, and so what we thought we'd do for the final show of the year is show you the best Make Leaf Laugh segment, and the winner is, from the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Glenn Suter. Glenn, did you have a lot of fun coming on and doing it?
It was a great time, Leif. I really appreciate the opportunity to come in and try and make you laugh, and I remember that day you're kind of in a bad mood. So
always.
I think that was sort of maybe the one thing that gave me that edge.
Perfect.
That you were in a bad mood, and I think you still laughed a little bit. A chuckle.
Ah, chuckle. Well, listen, I tell you what, we've got the grand prize, and before I give it to you, why don't we just look back and just see how you did make me laugh?
Let's do that.
All right. On the last segment today, we've got the middle safety of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Glenn Suter, joining us. Glenn, I can't believe it. 7 years you've played for this club. You never missed a game. You're a little guy. You're supposed to get hurt every once in a while.
Well, actually, you know, we were just talking about holding, and in '88, I sprained my ankle badly, and I was actually kept on the roster just to hold for field goals, so that kept that streak going. So that's
any way you can do it.
Any way I can do it.
All right. Listen, you are here to try and make me laugh today, and I'm in a grumpy mood, so I don't know, your chances are tough. But if you do, you will win the TSN hat. If you don't, I'm going to be all over you in a hurry. Have you got some good stories for me? Or?
Well, I tell you what, Dave Ridgway paid me not to tell any stories about him, so I got one about Raz, and, you know, I do a little bit of traveling.
Who's Raz?
Dan Rasovic.
Okay.
He's a linebacker on it.
All right.
You know, I do a little bit of traveling in the off-season, and we were talking about trips, and he said, you know, Glenn, I was stranded on a desert island once, and it was about, I was there for 3 or 4 years, and I hadn't seen a person for a long time, and he said, all of a sudden, this girl, beautiful blonde, walks up on the beach, and she's gorgeous, and she slowly starts to undo the top pocket of her wetsuit.
No.
And she pulls out the cigar, and Dan says, oh, I can't believe this. I've been here for years, and you have a cigar for me. This is great. And she says, well, if you like that. And she slowly undoes the other pocket, and she pulls out a beer. She says, oh, I can't believe this. You got a beer for me. Dan's just going crazy. And she says, well, if you like that. And she slowly undoes her top, and she says, you want to play around? And Dan says, no way. You got a set of golf clubs in there, too?
Glenn, that really was the best story. So you know what? I've decided to give you the best possible prize I could find, and that's a TSN sweater. Wear it well.
Thank you, Leaf. Thank you. I'm very proud to wear the TSN sweater, but you know what? You have put us on the spot all year.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
And I think it's time that we put you on the spot, because you know what? You played back in the 50s, right? And that's when they had to pull the helmets out of their back pockets and flip them on and put them on their head. So I'm thinking, let's Leaf make me laugh.
Oh, wow.
What do you think?
Well, you know, I guess I could, but I'm not going to just do it for you. We're here at Jack Lonsdale's. Okay. Let's get some of the boys in here. Come on, I'll tell you. Sure, I got a good story for you.
All right.
You want to hear it? Now, you guys are all from Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
You remember Conridge Holloway, played quarterback here?
Sure.
Conridge, when he was at the University of Tennessee, they were getting ready to go on a road trip to South Bend to play Notre Dame. So now they got the charter plane all set, and they get on the plane, and there's 3 seats on one side, 2 on the other. So Conridge gets on the 3-seat side, and he's sitting in the aisle. Now, the guy sitting on the window brought on the plane with him a can of Campbell's Chunky Soup. As soon as they got on the plane, they quickly opened the airsick bag in front of them, and they poured a can of beef Chunky Soup right in that airsick bag, put it back in. Now they get up, cruising altitude. Conridge pushes the little buzzer on top, and the stewardess comes back. She says, could I help you? He said, yeah. He said, we got a problem. I think my buddy on the window here is going to be sick. What should we do? She said, well, just grab the airsick bag in front of you. That's okay, no problem. So the guy reaches in front, of course, the bag with all the goodies inside, and he goes, Aah! Now all the other guys are going, oh, they're getting away from him. So Conrad says to the stewardess, he said, now, come on, we can't go on this whole flight with this bag. Will you take it away? She said, yeah, it's no problem. So the guy in the window passed it to the middle guy. Then he passed it to Conridge, and as Conridge gets it, he takes a look inside. He said, oh, geez. He said, you know, I haven't eaten breakfast today, and ham's my favorite. He reached right in, took a bite. Now the stewardess, she takes one look, and she passes out, hits the deck. She can't work the rest of the flight. That's it.
Leaf, I can't believe you told that particular joke. Time out here on the CFL Report for just a moment. Some thoughts from the Commissioner are next on the possible expansion of the CFL. Stay with us.
How soon before we see a franchise in Montreal?
Well, I'm not too sure we can do it 91, maybe 92, because there's a lot of interest there.
Are we going to see one day a team in the Halifax area as far as the Atlantic provinces are concerned?
Well, they've got a great football program down there, and at the moment there's no stadium that seats more than 7,500 people, so if we can find some place to play, then we certainly love to have a team in Halifax or in the Maritime.
There could have been several choices for the play of the game in this Grey Cup, but one in particular stands out above the rest. At the 5:16 mark of the third quarter, Winnipeg linebacker Greg Battle steals this pass away from Michael Souls and rumbles 32 yards for the touchdown. That gave the Bombers a 17-4 lead.
Greg Battle is just one of some 350 players who put on a great show around the CFL this past season. It has been a year that has produced some of the best results and some of the best plays since the league's heyday of the early 1980s. And with their thoughts now on the season just completed, here are John Wells and Leif Pedersen.
Well, from Canada's Grey Cup City, a few final thoughts on the CFL season of 1990. I think overall, everyone should be reasonably pleased with what has transpired this year.
I think, John, there's no question from a league standpoint, they have to be pleased with the fact that 5 out of 8 cities were up in attendance this year, and certainly that's an encouraging sign as we move to the off-season. And all those teams can take those marketing programs they put together and just expand on them and make them bigger and better for next year.
The discouraging word really had to be in Southern Ontario, Toronto and Hamilton attendance. Not what it should be for 2 great football cities.
Well, John, you know, I don't think they've tried hard enough. It's as simple as that. And I think Donald Crump, he put his efforts into Western Canada this year, and I'm sure you're going to see next year he concentrates a lot of his time in Toronto and Hamilton and tries to get some kind of solid marketing program going. Now, the Ticats have tried, but the Argos, they haven't tried, and I think the league has to step in and almost take over that situation.
Well, the CFL report this season, a few laughs, a few guys trying to make Leaf laugh, and I think we should salute Mr. Suter on winning the prestigious award.
Well, as you saw, he was tremendous, and I really had a lot of fun with that segment. We didn't know at the beginning of the year how it would really work, but there were 15 guys that came on and tried their best to make me laugh, and I'm a tough guy to make laugh. I'm usually pretty grumpy, as you can attest, but I had a lot of fun with that. Maybe, who knows, we'll do that again next year.
All right, Leif, it has been a fun season for us.
Great.
We hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next year on the CFL on TSN.
Okay, guys, thanks for your thoughts, as always. And with that, we come to the end of the CFL report for this 1990 season. I want to take a moment to thank the public relations people in the league office and with the various teams for their help and cooperation this year. And we'd especially like to congratulate all of the players and coaches who've made the 1990 season such a good year to talk about here on the CFL report. We also want to congratulate the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who spent all season long building such a great resume, and who proved on Sunday they are indeed the best team in the CFL. For now, for John Wells and Leif Pedersen, I'm Peter Watts. Thanks for joining us this year on the CFL Report. So long from Vancouver.
I wonder if there still can be moments of glory destined to be history, the kind that make the people stand, the kind that come from the power of a hero's hand. The moments we remember best, triumph and heartbreak reaching further than the rest, and with each victory comes a cost. For every hero there's 100 more who lost. Here's to memories that never fade. Here's to winners, here's to history made. Here's to the ones who make the people stand, so we all can believe in the power of a hero's hand. The moment is more than a physical test. There's something inside, it's a spirit that makes them the that never fade. Here's to winners, here's to history made. Here's to the ones who make the people stand, so we all can believe in the power of a hero's hand. Here's to the ones who make the people stand, so we all can believe in the power